I am at a bit of a standstill with my dissertation. If you've been watching my recent vlogs, you probably know this. I feel like I am just spinning my wheels and spinning my wheels on really detailed analysis of my case studies in this chapter, and I just don't know what to do with it. So I'm going to follow some words of encouragement from my actual methodology, which encourages tacking in and tacking out. Which is when you're constantly zooming in and zooming out, seeing micro level, macro level concerns, and it's like this process of like always oscillating and going back and forth. And I've spent a lot of time tacked in, and now we're gonna tack out. And I'm going to take this morning and some days this week to really just like take stock of what I've done this summer, because the dissertation writing sprint is coming to an end as school starts next week, and just try and look at my dissertation as a whole, try and look at the chapters as a whole, how is everything fitting together in this puzzle. And my hope is that by the end of these next few days, I'm starting to feel more of a sense of confidence, a sort of like, I got this, and coming out of this stuck place. So this morning I'm gonna go to Soma. Joanna's gonna meet me there, and we're gonna do a little journaling and taking stock, as I said. Okay, back home from Soma now, and getting set up for a Zoom meeting that I have in 1 minute with Digital Rhetoric Collaborative. It is our last meeting forever, because I'm not going to join it next year just because I'm going to be really busy with the job market. So we're just sort of wrapping everything up, but this morning's work session was really productive, and I'm excited to chat about it when this meeting is done. Okay, meeting is done, so I will yap a little bit about what I did this morning and why I feel like it was productive. So I started out by just like journaling, handwriting, reflecting on like where I was at the beginning of this summer writing sprint and where I am now. And I just like flipped through my very first summer writing sprint vlog, and I was like, I'm gonna finish a dissertation this summer. That was wild. I mean, I think I knew when I said it that that wasn't gonna happen, but I thought that I would have had chapter 2 fully finished with a nice neat bow on it, and that I would have had like a lot of words towards chapter 3 and 4. But I realized that writing doesn't work that way, and reflecting back on like where I was at that point mentally and where I am now, I have such a clearer vision of my project as a whole, and I feel so much more confident in my ideas and my abilities as a scholar and my potential success on the job market. That is like night and day. When I was working on chapter 2, I was so locked in and was like, I'm only doing this chapter. But as like I moved through the summer writing sprint and I allowed myself to like explore things that weren't intimately directly related to what I was writing about, I was like sort of fleshing out these ideas for these other chapters and thinking on big picture tasks, even subconsciously, and that was great. So that made me feel like happy with my progress. And then I took some time on my computer to write what I have argued so far and to write what I still need to argue. And I envision the next 2 chapters being like really interconnected, in total being the same length that the second chapter has been. Chapter 2 is like, I don't even want to say this, but it's like 80 pages double spaced, which is a lot for a diss chapter in my field. So the next 2 are going to be like 80 pages double spaced combined. I just did a little recap of what I've argued so far, And I said, so far in this dissertation, I've provided a literature review of embodied composition, multimodal composition, established the overarching goals of my dissertation, which is to create and flesh out a theoretical pedagogical framework called embodied multimodal composition, EMC. And then in chapter 2, I dove into a key aspect of EMC, which is embodied hyper-awareness. I define the term and I really tease it apart with a deep dive into vlogs on the internet. And I tie them back into the genre of personal writing, and I take the ideas of self-disclosure and self-censorship that are really key in personal writing and say, look at the ways that these vloggers are implementing them and how that is necessarily highlighting the fact that they have developed this embodied hyper-awareness. And that was helpful just for me to like write out in that way. I feel like that makes me want to revise my research statement and like put this in there. And then I said, here's what I still need to argue. And I said, if what I have argued so far is that vlogging has the potential to cultivate embodied hyper-awareness, what I will argue next is why this is the case. And this used to really scare me, knowing I had to theorize this. But now I'm feeling like kind of excited because this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I wanted to do the whole time. This is what my perspective was about. And I said chapter 3 is going to focus on the ways that vlogging has the potential to, and Bump Halberter calls it queering composition. So that terminology will obviously be like complex and fraught and I'll need to be sensitive to it. And I said that this is similar to what Steph Sarasso argues about how multimodal listening has the potential to defamiliarize writing. And I want to extend those ideas and say that vlogging not only defamiliarizes, queers composition, because we're not really asked to vlog in writing classrooms, but it has a chance to like defamiliarize and to make strange our relationships with our bodies and how this is productive because it heightens awareness. So this is why that embodied hyper-awareness is happening, because of that defamiliarization, because things are feeling weird. And that's when I want to start bringing in this idea of the embodiment contradiction from Megan Malone. Her work is incredible. I like sent her a fangirl email and was like, oh my god, incredible. And she talks about the embodiment contradiction specifically in relation to YouTube. And I need to go back, reread that article, really like think critically with it. And I feel like this will be a good starting point for chapter 3. And then chapter 4 will bring things sort of full circle and explain why embodied multimodal composition matters in the first place. And that is because it matters for our teaching. My whole dissertation has always been concerned with teaching. The title of my dissertation is From Writers to Content Creators, Teaching Embodiment and Multimodal Composition. Teaching comes first. I had to fight with my advisor to make that happen. And so in chapter 4, one major goal, I say that one major goal of teaching composition, especially like digital composition, is to increase students' rhetorical awareness. And often what we mean, especially in like digital rhetoric, is audience awareness when we say this. So the whole point of embodied hyper-awareness is that it has the potential to really saturate audience awareness, creating audience hyper-awareness. So if we can transfer our hyper-awareness of ourselves to a hyper-awareness of others, I think that will make us compose with inclusivity, accessibility, diversity, equality in mind, and really thinking critically about what do different types of bodies need and want, and how can we compose with sort of like universal design principles in mind. And this is when I'm going to really be drawing on my students' work that I have an IRB for, from my class that I taught about blogs a few years ago. And that's where we're at. A bit later now, I took a shower and changed because I'm gonna go get a haircut. So let me show you guys what my hair is looking like now so we can do it before and after. I don't even remember the last time I got my haircut. All I know is it's like really long, which I'm fine with. I don't want to take too much of the length off, but these like front pieces are so long. I want them closer to like here. So that's exciting. I'm also going to bake some pumpkin snickerdoodle cookies today. So I need to check quick if I have all the ingredients for that. And if not, I will stop at Kroger to get some stuff on my way home. Back from the haircuts, just trim things up a bit, especially the bangs as I mentioned. and she was just such a good job. And I saw that she's being promoted to like level 6 stylish, like the next level up, and I was like, oh my god, that's so exciting, because I think she's like truly the best ever who's cut my hair. I've never loved my hair more than when I get it cut by her. I go to Morgan at Mirror Salon. So it is a little after 4:30, it's 4:45, and I'm gonna make some fun pumpkin cookies. It feels right, even though it is still very much summer weather outside. Purdy, you want some pumpkin cookies? You love pumpkin. Pumpkin is actually safe for cats to eat, and they do really like it. Maybe I'll give you a little. Good morning, happy Tuesday. It is 9:36. I'm sitting in my car outside of the health center. I just finished an appointment to get some motion sickness patches because I'm doing a lake weekend this weekend with Zach, and I am very scared to be on a boat for extended periods of time because my motion sickness has been so bad lately. I used one of those patches because Megan had a prescription when I went to like Harry Potter World and like the theme parks at Orlando, and they worked really well. So it was pretty painless. I was just like, hey, get motion sick, and she was like, okay, here you go. Obviously told me the side effects and stuff. But I'm glad to be like up and ready pretty early because I think I'm gonna head over to Crumble Coffee, the downtown location, because I'm like pretty close by, and get some work done. I have a few different things on my to-do list, and I need to decide what I want to do in like what order. First things first, I think I need to send like a mass email because I am in charge of facilitating article writing groups, which I could get more into in another vlog. In the fall semester, we sent out a Qualtrics survey for people to apply to them, and there was a technical issue in the survey, so I need to send out a bunch of emails. And I need to wrap up some last things for the Digital Rhetoric Collaborative. And then of course, I need to work on my desk. I think I'm going to be working on citations and having a more manageable, systematic, smart workflow. And I think I'm going to be using PaperPile to do so. This is a resource that I've been using for the past month or so, and it has been great. It has been super user friendly, and it has been helping to keep me organized. So I will fill you guys in on that. Okay, I couldn't record this in the coffee shop for obvious reasons. So I am back home now, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you all about PaperPile and how this is slowly transforming the way that I manage my citations, organize my sources, annotate my PDFs, and just in general stay more organized with everything all in one place. Okay, so the first thing that I did when I started with PaperPile was upload a lot of the files that I am just keeping on my actual computer into PaperPile to help free up storage and to make sure that they're all in one place. If I lose my computer, I would lose these PDFs, and to help integrate them between my computer and my iPad. So what I did is hit add, upload files, and this is like really embarrassing that I'm going to show you guys all this. But I have everything in these really chaotic, semi-organized folders. I have an entire folder for dissertation, and then it's sort of organized by chapter. So I will upload this one by Amber Buck, which I know I cite in chapter 1, and I will just hit start upload. It uploads the actual PDF, and then it analyzes the metadata to create the citations for you. So right here we can see that it set it all for me, and it attaches it as a PDF. It has the abstract here, and if I click this PDF button right here, it will actually load the PDF, and it populated it with my highlights already, but if I wanted to add additional highlights, I could do that. Another thing that's great about PaperPile is the Chrome extension. So I have it downloaded and I have it pinned just to my Chrome browser. So let's say there is a source that's housed on a website or something that I want to save and cite. So I know there's this one. If I click this and click this PaperPile button right here, I can hit save to PaperPile and I can pick which chapter I want it to go in. I know that this is in chapter 3 and I can also add a note. So this is actually a site with a podcast that has a bunch of different parts, and I know this part, embodiment and electricity, are most useful to me, so I'll save a note for myself. Part 5 is especially useful here. And I will just hit save. And then it synced up with PaperPile, and we can see it pop up right here. And the last thing that I want to highlight is how PaperPile connects with Microsoft Word. So as you can see, I have this little PaperPile button right here, and on Microsoft Word, which is what I do all my writing on, I'm not a Google Docs girly, but it does integrate with Google Docs as well in the same way. You can just type whatever you want. In her article, she argues for the importance to compose with sound. And then I know that this is Steph Sarasso, so what I can do right here is just hit the PaperPile button, add a citation directly in, just search Sarasso, click the one that I'm talking about, insert citation. And it adds it as a works cited text at the bottom of my document, and then it adds it as an in-text citation too. And you can change whatever format or citation style you need, and they have all of them listed right here. I cannot stress this enough. If you are not managing your citations, take it from me, someone who has done nothing to manage my citations, and I need to finish up my dissertation in the next few months. Please try out PaperPile. I will have a discount code for you on the screen here and linked in the description box. It is an incredible and affordable resource. It's truly everything all in one. It integrates with anything you could possibly imagine, and thank you so much to PaperPile for sponsoring this video. Another car chat. I feel like this whole vlog is just car chats, but it is 12:26. I worked for like almost 3 hours, so I'm feeling really good about that. And what I did is just have a bunch of different Microsoft Word documents with notes on different readings, and I tried to organize them by author. So notes on different things Bump Halberter has said about movie making and documentary and video, and then each individual article or chapter from edited collections, I was using PaperPile to help me keep it organized and cited. But I'm just feeling really good about the dissertation right now. I'm reminded of my prospectus defense more than anything, which was like really traumatizing, where I was told point blank that I couldn't pick both embodiment and multimodal composition. I had to pick one as a primary term and a primary focus. And I'm just like, well, I'm doing it. I'm picking both. Because my response to that was, no, like, you're not getting the project then. If you think I'm only picking embodiment or only picking multimodal composition, you cannot separate the two. And my advisor had my back, which I love, in the prospectus defense, and he said, get a bigger boat. If you think there's only room for one term, get a bigger boat. And that like moment lives rent-free in my brain in the best way. And I'm just like sitting here thinking, you know, like, I'm doing it. I'm proving it wrong, that I'm able to do both of them. It is very hard. It is very, very challenging in terms of like workload and thinking load and reading load, but this is just what has to be done. You can't pick one. That's like the core tenet of my argument. And I feel really validated in seeing some of these like job postings that are coming out that want you to have experience in like not only like digital rhetorics, but also in embodiment. And so I'm like, it's almost like people know that their two of them are going together. But yeah, so I'm just feeling good. Zooming out is definitely helping me to see how things are fitting together, to not get bogged down in the little things that don't really matter as much, like the individual writing of one paragraph, but the overall contribution of the dissertation, the impacts of it, its connections to, not the impact of the dissertation because no one's going to read it, but the potential impacts of my thinking, and how I imagine them connected to social justice initiatives, especially like accessibility and inclusivity. And I'm just like, I did this. I came up with this project. And it's wild. It's just like wild to be here. I'm sure tomorrow I'll have a day where I'm just like, I freaking hate my project. What am I even doing? But I'm just gonna be happy with this moment where I'm like, I'm really proud of what I've done so far, and just like the project as a whole. And it feels really good. Okay, just came back home, ate some leftover homemade pizza for lunch, and watched the Brooke Pinchio vlog, well, part of it. But the weather is like so nice, so I gotta get out there. It is 71 degrees right now, and that's like the peak of the afternoon, but it's like teasing me into thinking that fall is coming. So I'm going to drop off some of these cookies at Zach's house and maybe like pop into TJ Maxx or something to get some fall decor as a flop, and that's okay. I was being really picky because I was like, I'm only gonna get something if I absolutely love it, but it was still fun just to like walk around and stuff. But I'm clearly in nap mode. I am going to take a little nap for like 30 minutes, and then I have a workout scheduled this afternoon. I have become an Orange Theory girly. Megan has convinced me. I went to a second trial class last week. I did a first trial class, but it was like weird. It was a weird experience. I didn't do like the regular Orange Theory fitness. I did like a strength class, and I didn't really like it. So anyway, I tried again and I was like, yes, I do really like this. So I signed up for a membership, bought a little heart monitor and everything, and I have my first like real paid for class this afternoon, and Megan's going with me. So I need to sleep and restore some energy before that. Back from Orange Theory. Oh my gosh, I got 14 splat points. My first class, I got 1 because I was so scared of being sore the next day. But my legs are already feeling a little like jello, so I can only imagine how they're gonna feel tomorrow. Megan is so nice though. She's like, I'm so proud of you, good job. I also never played sports growing up, so this whole like physical exercise, sweat is good, learning to like push my body is all very new to me. So I'm very proud of myself for like trying this, because this is something I've been wanting to do, not Orange Theory, but like a regular fitness routine for a while. And it's definitely not easy, but I'm proud for like pushing myself. So I'm going to shower and then get started on making some dinner. Tonight's dinner is Caesar salad with chickpeas and then like some pasta noodles, but we cooked the chickpeas in this Trader Joe's seasoning and it's super yummy. Okay, it is 10:17. I finished editing the vlog that's gonna go live this weekend. I need to get it uploaded to YouTube and sent over for brand approval. And then I just sort of like got lost in the weeds of job market stuff. I have a Google Sheet, sort of like an Excel doc, that was based on a template from something I saw on Twitter. But it's really great. It's like, what are the due dates of all the applications, what department is it in, who's on the hiring committee, what's the school, city, what is like the official title of the position, etc. So I've been like adding some schools that I'm thinking about applying to. The earliest deadline for applications I've seen is like the end of September. Most of them look like they're due in October so far, but this is like the very beginning of the job market cycle. So things are like just starting to roll in, but there's some that are like really exciting and like really scary at the same time. So I'm feeling like my heart racing, I'm feeling anxious about it all, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, it's happening. And all while I still have to finish the dissertation. But I know that's like just what the final year of the PhD program is like. So I'm going to try and like calm down, read my book, even though I'm not loving it that much. I might give up on it. And probably have like a slower morning tomorrow just to like chill and then get into some more work. But it is wild knowing that I get to end up in any city at this time next year. But I'm choosing to believe that what is meant to be will be, and what is for me will not pass me by. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Had myself a nice slow morning, as I said that I would, and tried a new technique on my makeup today that I saw on TikTok this morning, which is where you put the blush and then the concealer. So you do cream blush, concealer, and then powder blush, and I do feel like it made it really seamless, so love that. But I'm gonna go to Morgenstern's and get some work done because I really don't feel like it. I was doing some stuff this morning while just like watching vlogs, very easy stuff like finishing the thumbnail for my vlog that I edited yesterday, sending it over to the brand. I had to do not like a full letter of rec, but like it's for study abroad, and you basically just have to like check boxes like how much do you recommend this person. So I could do that pretty easily with the vlog in the background, just like little stuff like that. But now I need to lock in a bit more, so I think Morgenstern's would be a good place for that. I also have a Target pickup order, and then I think I'll stop at Fresh Time and get basically just tofu for dinner because we have some other stuff for a new recipe that I saw on Pinterest that looks easy and yummy. Sure. Hi. Are you sunbathing? This is probably her favorite spot, especially when you can see my neighbor's cat through the window. Well, she hates that, but I love it. Okay, leaving Morgenstern's. I worked for like an hour and a half. I was expecting to have like a super locked in moment just because my head is like thinking about a lot of different things at once. Like yesterday was like dissertation only, and now I'm like, okay, dissertation, but also like this other write-up that I need to do for the intro for that blog post for the DRC, the Digital Rhetoric Collaborative. I also am thinking about like the pickups that I have to do. I'm thinking that I have to pack for my lake trip, so it was hard to like fully lock in. Kind of feels like a Friday because I'm leaving on the trip tomorrow, but that's okay. I'm also waiting for a book to come from Amazon that I have such high hopes for, so I hope it's not like the last one I got from the library that just let me down. It's a book for school. It is about like the strangeness of composing with novel devices, and that's really what I'm thinking about my dissertation right now, since chapter 3 is about sort of explaining and theorizing why vlogging cultivates embodied hyper-awareness, and I'm answering that by saying that it makes things strange. It defamiliarizes you to the act of writing, and by defamiliarizing you to it, it heightens awareness. And a few different people have made this argument before about defamiliarization heightens awareness in terms of the composing process with like multimodal composition specifically. Like Steph Sarasso is a big one. Shannon Kelly and Jeremy Cushman have a podcast about this. It's like a hour-long podcast, not like a whole, you know, podcast show. But I'm taking those arguments a step further in saying that vlogging not only defamiliarizes you to the act of writing and composing, but it defamiliarizes you to your body as well, which is what makes you hyper aware of your body. And I'm feeling really good about knowing who to cite to make that argument, and I feel like this book that I'm going to get from Amazon could be the missing piece. But Amazon still says it'll arrive before 10 p.m. today, even though I ordered it like on Friday. So 2 days shipping was a bit more than 2 days. Anyway, I got Megan a little card from Morgenstern's because I have the cutest card. She's having a jaw surgery, so I'm putting together a little basket for her. I got some fuzzy socks, got some PJ shorts. Joanna got her the Summer Fridays lip balm that she's been wanting. Megan is like the sweetest, and she will never buy anything for herself or ask for anything. But I know jaw surgery recovery is like really intense, so I know she's gonna need to ask for some help. And I'm gonna get the people at Orange Theory to sign this because she goes to Orange Theory so frequently and they all love her there, so I just thought that that'd be sweet. And then this was an impulse purchase, but I'm obsessed with it. It's like a little book cover. I've been seeing these and I don't know, I never feel bad when I buy something from Morgenstern's because like it's benefiting the individual vendors, and like someone took the time to crochet that and handcraft that. It was 20 bucks, and I'm like, that's 20 bucks well spent. But yeah, enough yapping. Let me go to Target, do my quick little pickup order, and then go to Fresh Tub and get just a couple things. The Amazon package came. And here we are. It's called Strangely Rhetorical. I really hope this is good. Like, I'm sure it will be good, but I hope that it's like useful for where I'm at my desk because I have such high hopes for it. It is 4 o'clock now. Feeling like I need a break. I finished doing the intro to that blog carnival thing. I checked off my box of doing my dis for the day. So all that I like really need to do still is pack. But I hate when I do this and I drink like coffee sort of in the afternoon and then it just like kills my appetite for lunch. Because I had like some cheese and crackers when I got home, but I'm like, I never really ate lunch. It's 4 o'clock. I don't know what to do. So I might just make like a little half PB&J or something because I obviously want to be hungry for dinner. Why am I like this? After 5:30, I've procrastinated long enough. It's time to pack. I got some packing cubes, but I haven't had a chance to use them yet, so this is gonna be the first time I do so, just for a little weekend trip to see if it keeps me organized. These are all clean clothes that I have had clean since this weekend, and it's Wednesday, but I've been putting off folding them until it was time to pack, so let's just dive right in. Okay, got it all packed up. Hopefully this keeps me more organized. I did like loungewear and stuff in here, just like sweatpants and stuff to travel back in. This is stuff I'm gonna wear on the boat, like jean shorts, tanks, underwear, swimsuits, and I can't remember what that last one is. Oh, pajamas, that's what it is. A little before 7:30 and dinner is ready. This is like a 1-sheet pan dinner, just some tofu, beans and carrots, and it's all sort of in a sauce with like sesame and garlic and honey and soy sauce. It's like a stir-fry sauce. And then I made some rice, and you top it with some cilantro and sesame seeds. I took a bite of the tofu and it wasn't super flavorful, so we'll see. Much later than I'd like it to be. It is 11:20. I have finally finished packing and everything. I want to do my hair, but I don't have that in me. So we're gonna go to sleep with it slightly wet and just fix it in the morning. I wouldn't be up and at 'em this late, but Love is Blind dropped 2 new episodes today and I forgot that was happening. And so, you know, it was like the finale. I got locked in and I was like, I have to see Who Says I Do at the altar. Fantastic, didn't let me down. But yeah, time for bed. I'm gonna end up the vlog here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know for sure that I'm leaving this week, even though it's only Wednesday, these past few days, feeling a lot better about the dissertation than I was going into it. So that's good. I will see you guys in the next one.